In the 18th century, America was not a free country. It was a group of 13 colonies controlled by the powerful British Empire. At first, life under British rule seemed manageable, but things began to change after the French and Indian War. Britain had spent a huge amount of money on the war and decided to recover its losses by imposing heavy taxes on the colonies. Laws like the Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts forced colonists to pay taxes on everyday items. But there was one major problem. The colonists had no representation in the British Parliament. This led to a powerful idea spreading across the colonies: no taxation without representation. Tensions continued to rise. Protests broke out, and people began boycotting British goods. Then in 1770, a violent incident shocked everyone: the Boston Massacre, where British soldiers fired into a crowd of colonists. This only fueled anger and resistance. A few years later, in 1773, another major event changed everything: the Boston Tea Party. Colonists, disguised as Native Americans, boarded British ships and dumped an entire shipment of tea into the harbor as a protest against unfair taxes. Britain responded harshly, passing strict laws known as the Intolerable Acts, which punished the colonies and increased British control. By 1775, the situation had reached a breaking point. Fighting broke out between British troops and colonial militias in battles like Lexington and Concord. This marked the beginning of the American Revolutionary War. The colonies were not well equipped, but they were determined. Under the leadership of George Washington, the Continental Army faced one of the most powerful militaries in the world. The war was long and difficult, with many losses and hardships. In 1776, a bold and historic decision was made. The colonies officially declared independence from Britain through the Declaration of Independence, largely written by Thomas Jefferson. This document stated that all men are created equal and have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The war continued for several more years, but the tide began to turn when France decided to support the American colonies, providing military aid, supplies, and naval power. This support proved to be crucial. Finally, in 1781, the British Army suffered a major defeat at the Battle of Yorktown. Surrounded by American and French forces, British General Cornwallis surrendered. This effectively ended the war. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, and Britain officially recognized the United States of America as an independent nation. The birth of the United States was not just about freedom from British rule. It was about the idea that people have the right to govern themselves. It was a revolution that inspired the world and changed history forever. The story of American independence reminds us that freedom often comes at a high cost, but its value is beyond measure.